I hope you're having a great day and I hope you have a great week ahead. Over the last weekend, I've had a lot of people message in saying, Luke, what's the quickest way to feel lighter? What's the quickest way to lose weight? What's the quickest way to boost our immune system, lower inflammation, and feel better? Well, what we're going to discuss today is something that all of you can try. Some of you may be doing it, some of you are yet to do it. I'm going to give you 3 simple tips, okay, on how to feel lighter immediately. And I'm also going to explain the reason why you should do this. So number 1, over the next 5 to 6 days, get off gluten completely. It doesn't matter whether gluten suits you or doesn't suit you. Of course, people who are celiac should never have gluten because it can create a lot of problems. So one is gluten. Anything that has gluten, like your wheat or any of your gluten products, stay away from this for just 5 days. All right? So no gluten. Dairy. You may say, I can have milk, I can have yogurt, nothing happens to me. Absolutely right. But I'm saying be away for it for 5 days. So you're going to take away gluten and you're going to take away dairy completely from your diet. Now, the next question is, what do I have if I don't have gluten? There's loads of stuff. You can have rice. You can have different flours which don't have gluten, which are completely gluten-free. Now, when I say going off gluten, I even mean going off gluten-free products. You know, gluten-free products are some of the unhealthiest products because of everything else that's added to make the product stable. So you can do rice, you can do all of your millets. In fact, my whole video tomorrow is going to be on millets and why millets is the new super grain. It's always existed for the longest time. It's great for diabetes, it's great for weight loss, it's great for your immune factors, it's great for blood sugar levels. It's fantastic. So we're going to talk about millets tomorrow, but in case you're giving up gluten for the next 5 days, you can have millets, you can have rice, you get millet flour. So if you like making your rotis or your chapatis, you can make them out of millets. You can use amaranth, which is gluten-free. There are so many different versions, which I will post in the thread of this video right after. Okay, so we're staying off gluten and we're staying off dairy. Now I know what's coming to your mind, that this is difficult. Life is difficult. You should know that right now. Life is difficult, but it's also beautiful. 5 days, use self-restraint, use self-discipline. This will also teach you that you have the ability to self-restrain. You have the ability to build self-discipline. Now, what's going to happen in these 5 days? Okay, so what are you going to have with your tea? Some people say, I love tea, I can't do without tea. Well, you should never be dependent on something so much that you can't do without it. So you can do black tea. If you want, you can add almond milk, you can use oat milk, you can use coconut milk. You know, personally, that's just horrible chai when you make it that way. Just have black tea instead, okay? Instead of yogurt, people say, but what about my probiotics? You can have it in fermented cabbage, you can have it in kimchis and sakras and well-made pickles. So, you know, you're not gonna miss out on your probiotics. Now, the reason why I'm saying go off gluten and go off dairy for 5 days, even if you're not intolerant towards it, is because in these 5 days, your inflammatory markers will drop. Most of us are inflamed. We have inflammation in our body. So you're going to feel lighter. You're going to feel more energetic. You're going to feel more focused. You may even drop a couple of inches or a little bit of fat. I'm not talking about weight. I'm talking about fat. You find yourself getting a little bit slimmer maybe in 5 days, but you give your gut a break. The more inflamed your gut, the more problems you have. And now while you do this, some people who are already super fit and, you know, healthy inside. When I say super fit, I don't mean muscles and six packs. That's not the definition of fitness in any way. I mean, you have a clean gut, everything's fine. You may just realize nothing happened. I just feel the same. Get back to your gluten, get back to your dairy after 5 days. But for everyone else, can you do this one little challenge? Challenge yourself. Yes, like I said, you'll have problems. I can't do without tea. So if you can't do it, just don't do it. Simple. Okay, you don't have to get stressed out about it. If you can't do 5 days, do 3 days. If you can't do 3 days, do 2 days. If you can't do 2 days, start off with 1 day. And then the next day is another win. And the third day is another win. And then you have 5 wins. But the point is, don't let your mind fill up with your own fears and obstacles that you don't even try. Because I can tell you one thing. We have hundreds and thousands of people who, when they join our programs for their health reasons or weight or their cancers, the first thing we do is we put them off this only to bring some amount of balance to their gut health, which in turn controls everything, your inflammation, your immunity, and most of them just never get back to it. What do? I love gluten. I love dairy too. It doesn't affect me. But once in a way, I go off it completely for a week, okay? And I feel the difference. So it's not something that you have to give up completely. You're doing it for 5 days to self realize that, hey, you know, a lot of people may be intolerant to gluten and may be intolerant to dairy, but they don't know it because they're so used to living with acidity, bloating, that uncomfortable feeling. You get used to that uncomfortable feeling. But when you do 5 days of this, all of a sudden you realize that, hey, I'm feeling better. My bloating's disappeared, my acidity's disappeared, my water retention's disappeared, my headaches have disappeared. I'm sleeping better at night. Guess what? Self-realization teaches you that, hey, I could be having a problem with gluten or dairy, or maybe my gut is not strong enough. I don't have the right enzymes to break down gluten and break down dairy. And after keeping yourself away from these two for 5 days, you actually get stronger to handle it in the future. So you'll find your path in life, whether it's spiritually, whether it's religiously. You'll find any path by only trying, by only doing, through self-realization, not what people are telling you, not what Luke is telling you. Luke's telling you to try. If you fit into the category where, wow, what a difference, great. If you fit into a category where I don't want to do this, good for you. If you fit into a category where it didn't make a difference, I'm happy to get back to gluten and dairy, well, good for you as well. The point is, self-realization is powerful, and you want to do that. Can't tell you how many of our patients with autoimmune conditions, cancers, diabetes, so many of them, when they join our programs and they realize that it is easy to give this up for a while until the gut gets stronger, some of them make it a lifestyle change permanently. Some of them do it only when they're traveling, or once in a week they want to have something that has a little gluten. It's a way of life. Find what works for you and do it. Everyone is unique and different. Remember uniqueness. You know, and then there are people, like I said, my parents, they have everything and they're absolutely fine. I have everything, I'm absolutely fine. You may be different. But sometimes I know when I come back from travel, give myself a break from gluten, from dairy, I literally clean up my system, relax inflammation, the gut gets stronger, and then I just get back to a normal way of living. So you may want to try it. Self-realization is powerful. Let's start off. Just 5 days is all you need to do. 5 days. Like I said, if you can't do 5 days, start off with 1 day. Win 1 day. Then win the second. Then win the third. You failed on the fourth, no problem. Win the 5th day. It starts off with baby steps. The problem in today's world, everyone's trying to be perfect and achieve everything together. And that's why people are failing. Everything in life. Look at nature. You cannot force a seed to become a plant faster than it should. You can do it in a lab, but nature won't do it. So remember nature. Adopt the pace of nature. It's beautiful. It's healthy, and it's the way that we should live. Have a great day, everyone. Have a great week ahead. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, breathe deep, and remember, you care is all about you.